Okay, directly let me start. What are the stages of CAD? Okay, so before going to the stages of CAD, and I would like to tell you why do you need and what is the reason to implement CAD. The exact reason to implement CAD is to increase productivity of the designer, because now we are in the design side now. We are not entered into the manufacturing side. Now we are restricting our discussion to the design side because we are in the part of introduction to CAD. So this increases the productivity of the designer. Means, so assume that if you design a component, assume that it may take 1 week time. If you use computer to design a component, so you can reduce the time of design. Suppose if that takes 1 week time, if you take the assistance of the computer, you can design a component, you can complete that design within 2 or 3 days. Example I am saying. So in that way, you can increase the productivity of the designer. So that means within less time, you can design the component. And next one is you can also improve the quality of the design because you are taking the assistance of the computer so that the errors will be less because you're using computer so that the quality of the design means the accuracy of the design of the component will improve. That is also the one of the requirements to implement the CAD in the design side. Next, you have the communication to the documentation, because if you use the computer, everything is in the form of soft copy. So the communication is very easy. So if any of the document is in your laptop or in your desktop, so it is easy to communicate with the documents. So documentation, preserving the documents and communicating with the documents is very easy. So these are the reasons to implement the CAD. So one is the productivity increases, the other one is the quality of the design increases, then the communication through the design also increases. So these are the basic reasons to implement the CAD. So when it comes to the benefits of the CAD, so decrease in error percentage, so percentage of error reduces. Okay, so when you use CAD software, so it decreases the error percentage. So if you use the computer iteration, if you use the computer for calculations, the error will be less. That is what I would like to say. Then it also decreases the effort. So effort reduces the amount of effort that you are spending when you design conventionally or manually. So the effort will be more. You need to spare more time. You need to spare a more effort to design a component. So a percentage of error reduces, and it also reduces the effort, and it also saves the time. Time obvious when you use any of the computing machine, so it saves the time. Then it is also possible to edit very easily. Editing is very easy. If everything is in the form of soft copy, as easily you can edit the document. Whereas if anything is in the form of hard copy, if the design in the form of hard copy, it is not possible to edit the hard copy. So that means if you take the printout, and in that you cannot take the edit, and in that you cannot make the changes. So if everything is in the form of soft copy, you can edit very easy. So editing is easy. You can save the time. Effort reduces. The error percentage also reduces. These are the four benefits. When it comes to the other benefits, so even you can reuse the code. Example, you take your users one of the CAD design software. So you are designed on CAD software to design a component. So that code can be reused further to modify that design. Suppose if the customer wants some more modifications in the existing component, in that case you can take out the old design copy, and you can modify that according to the customer needs. So code can be reused. Then, as I said, the accuracy increases. Then easy to share. Sharing is also very easy. Suppose if the design is in the form of soft copy, so easily you can share among the clients and as well as the other designers in the company. So that is also one advantage when you implement, or that is also one benefit of the CAD. So easy to share, accuracy increases, then code can be reused. So along with this, and the other benefits are easy to edit, saves time, decrease the effort, and error percentage also reduces. These are the benefits of the CAD. But when it comes to the stages of the CAD, so basically there are 6 stages while implementing the CAD. So one is, the first stage is problem identification and recognition of the need. So in this stage, basically what it means is that you have a requirement. Assume that I will give you an example. You have a requirement that to transmit so and so power from one shaft to another shaft, and those two shafts are connected together by using so and so couple. Coupling is a device which is used to connect the two shafts. Okay, assume that that is the requirement. You want to transmit some power from one shaft to another shaft, and those two shafts must be connected together. That is your requirement. So that is your problem. Okay, so you want to transmit, so assume that, so 10 kilowatts power to 10 kilowatts power from one shaft to another shaft, and those two shafts must be connected together using one coupling. So that means so with respect to that power, you need to design the shaft, you need to design the coupling also. So that is what the problem. Your problem in this case is to transmit power from one shaft to another shaft, and those two shafts must be connected using a coupling. This is what your problem, you are identified, that is your requirement. So but it requires, in this stage you require some information, you require some inputs. So in this stage, so there are some inputs. So these are the some inputs required in this stage. In the stage one is problem identification and recognition of the need. So in this case, you are going to consider the historical information. Historical information means already you have some information, design information with you. Already you are using one coupling there. Okay. So in that case, you can take that information. So for the further design process. So historical information you can consider. If you have historical information, you consider. Otherwise, you can skip this. Okay. So then requirement specification, exactly as I said just now, the requirement specification means what amount of, how much amount of power you want to transmit, and are you providing any misalignment between the shaft's axis. So based on that also you have to choose the coupling. So there are different types of couplings. Okay, so based on that, so you are going to choose the design component. So requirement specification, so whether you are connecting the two shafts, those shafts axes are collinear with each other, whether the axis of the two shafts are offsetting certain distance. So based on that, you are going to design the component, design the coupling. So this is what the requirement specification. So you need to identify, you need to go inside the problem. So you are identified the problem and you looked inside whether you have some information related to that. So that is historical information, and you should go inside to specify exactly what is the requirement specification. Then you also look for the market forces, like market forces means whether this component is better to purchase outside or whether to manufacture in your company. That is what they require. Suppose if your manufacturing cost is more than the price available in the market, so you are not going to manufacture this component. It is better to purchase that component from the outside. That is the market forces. So if you manufacture a component, what I mean to say is, if you manufacture a component in your company, if the cost of that product is more than the price of the available in the market. So it is waste to manufacture that component in our company. So better you should analyze, you should look into the market side also. What is the price of the component available in the market? Okay, that also you need to look into that. Then general solution you need to identify. General solution means conceptual stage. So conceptual stage means you want so and so diameter shaft and you want so and so diameter coupling and diameter muff. All these you have to identify. That means in this case general solution means, so this in this case you have some idea in your brain, conceptual design in your brain. But as of now you are not coming onto the paper, you are not going to apply any principles. So without the principles, you must have some idea in your brain regarding the design process. So that is called the general solution. So during the general solution process, you don't have anything on the paper. You are not going to apply any principles during this stage. So just you have something in your brain, solution, what to use, how to connect, and what type of component, what type of coupling you are going to use. So like this concept you have in your brain. So that is called general solution. So this stage of solution is the conceptual stage solution. So these are the four inputs required and four parameters you are going to consider during the stage one. So when it comes to the stage two, so problem definition, exactly you are going to define the problem. So you are identified the problem in the stage one, then you are going to define the problem, exact definition. Like how much diameter, how much size. So like that you are going to define the problem. Okay. So in this case, preliminary design, that means basic principles you are going to apply. Okay. Then preliminary sketches you are going to draw during this stage. Then you're going to conduct the brainstorming sessions with all the experts in the company. Then you are going to evaluation. Then you are going to evaluate the design, whether the design is feasible or not. So these are the steps you require during the stage two. So preliminary design, preliminary you are going to apply basic principles, whether this is feasible or not. Then you are going to draw the preliminary sketches roughly. Then you are going to conduct the brainstorming sessions with the experts during your problem, I mean to assess your problem, feasibility of the problem. Then you are going to evaluate the design, whether it is correct, whether it is proper design or not. Okay, so this is the second stage. But when it comes to the third stage, then you are going to design the component using the any of the 3D modeling software, any of the 3D modeling software. Like you can use Ideas, Pro E, Unigraphics, Solid Edge, SolidWorks. These are all the commercially available softwares. So using those commercially available softwares, you are going to create the model, generate the model in that software. So after creating the model, so directly you are not going to send that into the uh, manufacturing side. Okay, so that will be analyzed first. So primarily you are going to analyze the process. So basic stress strain analysis, like this primary analysis. You are not going to look into the design process. You are not going to animate that how this is going to whenever you apply the load, whenever this is working, whenever the component is in the working condition, so how that component is going to behave, you are not going to assess that. Primary analysis you are going to do. So maximum stress, minimum stress, like that you are going to assess. Then comparative evaluation you are going to perform. Comparative evaluation means if you have any existing design, so this design will be compared with the existing design. That is the third stage, geometric modeling. So the major step in this case is third step. In this step you are going to create a model. Any of the commercially available software in the market. So that model will be primarily analyzed. Then it will be compared with the existing design. So this is the third step. Then in the fourth stage, engineering analysis. You are going inside the analysis. You will do the static analysis, dynamic analysis, heat flow analysis. If the design component is used in the a hot environment, you should also perform the heat flow analysis. Then then it will be also analyzed for the design for the manufacturer in this case. So these are the steps: static, kinetic, dynamic, heat flow, and design for the manufacture. So these are the steps involved during the analysis stage. But when it comes to the fifth stage or prototype development, uh, before sending this component into the manufacturing side, into the actual production, so a prototype will be manufactured first. So prototype means exactly a reduction in its size. So the component specifications, assume that your requirement is to manufacture a component to transmit 10 kilowatts power. But example I told you, but example you take the turbine. Okay, so in this case you take the turbine. So turbine is designed to generate 500 megawatts power. Okay, but now you are not going to manufacture 500 megawatts turbine directly. So before going to the actual production, for the 500 megawatts turbine, you are going to manufacture a small prototype, maybe to generate 1 kilowatt power, maybe to generate half kilowatt power. So that will be manufactured first. With the same, all the dimensions will be reduced to generate. So that prototype model will be generated first, model will be manufactured first, and that will be tested and evaluated. So that is called the prototype. Prototype means the small size component will be manufactured before manufacturing the actual component. So that will be tested and evaluated during this stage. As I said, this will be tested and evaluated before manufacturing the actual component. So that is called the prototype development. So design requirement, that will be analyzed. Okay, then working drawing, if you satisfy with the testing and evaluation, so then you are going to refine the design. If you have any errors, you are going to reduce those errors until to satisfy your testing and evaluation process. Then you are going to develop, you are going to draw the working drawing. That means those are the actual drawings. So this is the very, very important stage. So after geometric modeling, then you are going to do the analysis part, then you are going to do the prototype, then you are going to manufacture the prototype that will be tested, and that will, the design will be refined. After that, so a working drawing will be developed, actual working drawing will be developed. So this is the fifth stage. Then the final stage is manufacturing process development. This is actual manufacturing process. During this process, you have to perform the process planning. Process planning, in the last session I told with you what exactly the process planning. During this process planning stage, you are going to select the cutting parameters, type of machine, type of tool. Cutting parameters means like speed, feed, depth of cut, and what type of tool, what type of a machine you are going to use, whether you are going to use planing machine, milling machine, like that, shaping machine. So all those will be selected during this process planning stage. Then you are going to generate the manufacturing information after doing the process planning. Then you are going to simulate that. So after writing the manufacturing coding, then you are going to simulate the manufacturing process before going to the actual manufacturing process. So the tool will be simulated first. If you go for the manufacturing process directly, if something happens, if you find any error, so entire material will be wasted. So to avoid that problem, so the tool will be simulated, or the manufacturing process will be simulated. Okay, so after simulating the tool, otherwise sometimes a dummy product will be developed. So using the plastic, using the wood, a dummy component will be manufactured first. So if you satisfied with the dummy component dimensions and the accuracy, so then we will move forward for the actual production. That is the simulation process. So then when it comes to the information requirement, that means if you have any other information, required information, then you are going to collect that information. So finally, you will also perform the time and motion study. So how much time the manufacturing process is taking. Then the motion study related to the how how the machinist is performing his activities on the machine. So all this will be analyzed during the time and motion study. So this you will come across during the estimation and costing process. Uh, in this semester you have this subject. So this stage is also very important. So sixth stage is manufacturing process development. So during this process planning will be performed, and after that the remaining manufacturing information will be generated from the process planning information. Then the uh, manufacturing will be simulated on the machine, the tool will be simulated. Then if you find any lack of information, that information will also be collected during this information requirement process. Then you will also perform the time and motion study during the sixth stage. So that is the manufacturing process development. Then the prototype development, the fifth stage is prototype development. During this process, testing and evaluation process. Then the design will be refined if you find any error during the testing and evaluation process. Then finally you will develop the drawing, working drawing. Then the fourth stage is engineering analysis. During this process, static, kinetic, dynamic, heave flow, design for manufacturing, everything will be for all this is analysis process. Then during the third stage, so geometric model will be generated using any of the commercially available software. So in this stage, you will perform the primary analysis just for simple calculations will be performed during this stage, and you will be compared that design values with the existing design. That is the third stage. And the second stage is the problem definition. So during this process, so preliminary design calculations will be performed, then manually, then preliminary sketches will be drawn, then brainstorming sessions will be conducted, then finally that design will be evaluated with the existing design. So this is the problem definition stage. Then when it comes to the first stage, problem identification and recognition of need. So during this stage, you are going to identify the problem or recognize the problem based on the historical information. Then you are going to specify the problem exactly. Then you should also perform the market analysis, market forces. Then finally you will find some general solution, conceptual solution in your mind. So this is what the stage one. So stage one to stage six. So stage one is problem identification and recognition of the need. Then stage two is problem definition. Then you will create the geometric model. Third stage, fourth stage is analysis. Then the fifth stage is prototype development. Then the sixth stage is manufacturing process development. So these are the 6 stages will be performed during the computer aided design and manufacturing process. So I will stop here now, and in the next session I will move forward to discuss the other content, that is hardware used in CAD CAM side. So thank you one and all. Thank you.